Hi, I'm Scott Wrighton, and I serve as the Decatur City Manager. Every week you can find through this link information about what's going on with your city government. As you probably know, we've been spending the last 2 weeks dealing with the effects of a major storm that came through Decatur and brought down trees all over the city. So as I have mentioned once before, but I think it bears repeating some of this information, what we said was that if you got your trees and limbs to the curb by July 10th, then we would have Public Works working 12-hour shifts for a couple of weeks to get all that collected. We're now on the back end of some of that, and we expect to finish all of this work by this week. In other words, we expect to go to all the neighborhoods in the city of Decatur at least once to pick up all these tree limbs and branches that have been put out at the curb. Some of these piles are really big, and it's testament to how much damage the storm did. To the extent that it is possible, we will try and go back and look in those locations where the Public Works has already been there once. And some of these piles have happened after they were there, just because we understand that some residents have had a tough time getting all of their branches and their limbs out. We are really trying to wrap this program up by the end of this week. And we'd appreciate that you get it all out here yet this week. And to the extent that we can, we will go back into some of the neighborhoods where we've already been once. But I assure you, all the neighborhoods will be visited at least once for the pickup of the tree limbs. I want to publicly thank Byron Bowman and his team at the Public Works Department for all the hard work and extra hours that his crew put in to do this work. I've seen them in action, and they've been very efficient. At the last City Council meeting, the City Council took action on some major equipment related to our fire response in two different ways. Getting new fire engines has been problematic in the post-pandemic age. For some period of time during pandemic, different factories that made fire apparatus for local government either shut down in whole or in part, causing back orders. And now that they're back open again, many cities are able to use some of the special funding that they got from the pandemic-related grants for the purchase of fire apparatus. The City of Decatur has not chosen to use its ARP money for that purpose, but like everybody else, we need to replace several of our fire apparatus, our pumper trucks in the fire department. And so the City Council at its last meeting authorized the purchase of 3 new fire pumpers. That's something we don't usually do in that large a number because the waiting time is so long, and in order to lock in those prices, we had to commit to that because I didn't want to wait for a couple of years and then pay prices that are even higher. But even this commitment for 3 of these fire pumpers is well over $2 million. The price of this specialized apparatus has gone up significantly. It is certainly one of the places where you can really see the impact of the rampant inflation that our country has endured for the last 2.5 years. Specialty items are some of the ones that are most affected by this. The other fire-related equipment purchase that the City Council authorized was an additional 12 intersections where we have what we call Opticom installations. This is a preemption of the local signals that allow the fire trucks to get through with less potential conflicts with motorists who might be coming in from the side and not paying attention. Now, I assure you our firefighters do a great job of making sure that every time they approach an intersection that they're looking both ways and making sure that there's not somebody who is violating the lights and not paying attention. But still, that doesn't mean that motorists who are maybe on their phone or doing something else that's distracting their attention are going to be still not paying attention. And so this preemption will give us the ability to reduce the number of those potential accidents and, best of all, get to emergency scenes faster. This is a project that the city's fire department has been doing for several years, and this pretty much brings us to the end of that as regards to the signalized intersections we have in the city of Decatur. Finally, I want to mention briefly that the City Council has been taking a fair amount of time to study video gaming and amendments to the alcoholic beverage code here in Decatur concerning whether or not we should reduce the number of video gaming, whether we should change the definitions of certain types of liquor classifications so that it's not as easy for them to have video gaming and so forth. The City Council understands that this is a controversial topic. Many people, as shown by a survey, would prefer that there be less video gaming in the city of Decatur. On the other hand, it's also true that some small businesses rely on this as a revenue source. Video gaming is very lucrative, and so I think what the City Council is trying to do is acknowledge that there may be certain situations we have to grandfather, but not allow it to expand too much. And what they decided at the last City Council meeting is they want to take more time to study that, make sure that they do it right, which is a good thing. And so they passed an ordinance simply extending the previous moratorium, meaning that we won't be issuing any new video gaming licenses anywhere in the city of Decatur during the pendency of the moratorium. And that moratorium now has been extended until the end of the year on December 31st, 2023, which should be plenty of time for the City Council to finish its study and its deliberations and bring an ordinance for final adoption.